The Coach Curl podcast is brought to you by Think and Grow Business, the home of the Think and Grow Business Mastermind. If you're serious about growing your business, get serious and join a mastermind group today. Find out more at thinkandgrowbusiness.com.au.
Hey there, it's Tony here and welcome to episode 99 of the Coach Curl podcast. Today, I'm sharing with you the 5 things you simply have to do before you set a New Year's resolution. Stay tuned.
Good job, guys. All right, Paul, I see you. Finish us. Coach Curl.
Hey there, it's Tony here and welcome to episode 99 of the Coach Curl podcast. Now, I'm recording this just 2 days after Christmas and I'm hoping that you had an amazing Christmas period filled with love and family and friends. But now that Christmas has passed, and I guess the sheer lunacy of the Boxing Day sales, it's time to get moving and start thinking about, if you haven't already, what lies ahead in 2019. Is 2019 just going to be more of the same, or is 2019, or is today the day that you stand up and start to make changes to make your life better? But what I know is that this is a really fantastic time to take stock of where we are and to take aim at where we want to be. So take stock of where we are and take aim at where we want to be. So in this episode, I'll be sharing the 5 things you seriously must do before you set any plans for 2019. So many people talk about resolutions. We do New Year's resolutions. And sometimes someone will say, what's your New Year's resolution? But before you do that, before you set a resolution on a whim, I want you to work with me on these 5 steps to take before you even think about setting a resolution. Seriously, I want you to do these 5 things first. Now, this isn't an exhaustive list of things, but they're 5 key components in what I do when I'm working with people when they do want to set goals and change their life, change what it is that they're doing. So take what I'm saying, take the value and work with it. So before you set a resolution, you know exactly what it is that you should be trying to work towards. You know, don't set it on a whim or just because someone's asked you. We're bound to fail if that's the case. And that's like 97%. I would imagine there's stats out there that support this, but I reckon 97% of people that set resolutions lose them in a very short time. So give yourself a chance to succeed. And to do this, I'm going to outline the 5 things. 5 things that you should do. So number 1, reflect on your achievements in 2018. Give yourself a pass mark or a cross mark or one of those little squiggly things that if we saw some improvement but not a lot. So what did 2018 do for you, and what did you make from 2018? What endeavours did you start and succeed in? Where did you fall short? What did you try and fail? Who came into your life? Who left your life? Unfortunately, you may have lost someone close to you, someone that you love. Or maybe someone came into your life that you now love. You may have kicked backside in business or at work, or maybe you sucked. Reflect honestly on 2018. Was it good for you? Was it a pass mark? Did you underachieve? Now, we need to be honest in this reflection. We need to be very honest in this reflection. Honest reflection never hurt anyone. And it's what we need to do to start the process. So step number 1, what was 2018 like for you? Step number 2, once we've looked at that, once we've reflected on 2018, we've celebrated our achievements, we've looked at areas that we could have done better, look at where you are right now. And this is where we start to get a little bit more specific. I want you to assess 6 key areas in your life. So I liken this to like the 6 strings on a guitar, because I want you to rate them on a scale of 1 to 10 on how satisfied or happy you are in each of these areas. So one of them would be career or if you're running your own business, your business. Number 2 is your major love or your major relationship that you have in your life. Number 3 is family. Number 4 is finances. Number 5 is spirituality, whatever that means to you. And number 6 is our health. So like strings on a guitar, is your life in tune? How satisfied are you in each of those areas? Maybe your business is going well, maybe your relationship's going well, but maybe finances suck. Maybe your health's not where it should be. So how happy or satisfied are you in each of those areas? And I want you to rank them on a scale of 1 to 10. And then think about, are you in tune or out of tune? How does each of these areas feel presently? Take time to think back now also to step 1 on your wins and your losses. So your wins and losses in 2018, do your wins match back to satisfaction levels on those 6 key areas? Importantly, did the wins impact areas where you aren't happy? So can you categorize those wins and losses that we talked about in 2018 into those 6 key areas? Are any of them missing? So you may have had a great year in terms of, say, your business growth, but if that's had a corresponding impact and a loss within your relationship, that's something to consider. So are any of those key areas missing out of your wins and losses from 2018? Make a note and we'll have a look at that a bit later. Now, the third tip is now to take stock of everything that you would like to do. So maybe that's travel, maybe you're getting married, or maybe you're thinking about getting engaged. Maybe you want to build a business or build your own business or start a business. Maybe you want to get promoted. Whatever it is, I want you to list it down. Maybe you might want to lose some weight, maybe get fit. Maybe you want to compete again in something. Maybe you want to reconnect with family. Now, I want you to take some time with this and think about this as you're writing it down. What really motivates you? What really gets you excited? What is it that you really want to do? Sit down, whether it's over a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, a glass of water, a glass of wine. Write down 10 things that you want to achieve in 2019 or later. 10 things that I want you to do, that you want to do. So I want you to write it. Call it your bucket list if you want. But I want you to write down at least 10 things that you want to do. But they must be what you want to achieve. So what is it? What does 2019 look like for you? Will your business grow? Will your career flourish? Will you find love? Will you rekindle love? Will you see parts of the world that you haven't already seen? It's not only Santa that makes a list, people, it's you too. And this helps set us up for the last couple of steps. Today, step number 4 is all about habit. So Steve Maraboli famously said to me one day, he said, everything you do, Tony, you've got to ask yourself, does this help me or does it hurt me? And the same applies to our habits. Now, John Maxwell tells us success is found in our daily agenda, and I would add that success is found in our daily habits. Do your daily habits help you or hurt you? Now, when you read and research successful people, often it's their habits that they've created. It's the daily habits, it's the habits that they've created that help them attain the level of success that they have. They create habits of success. They find time to do the things that others can't. So they find time to network, they find time to exercise, they find time to develop themselves, keep a healthy brain. They find time to be with loved ones. You won't see them on an all-night binge on Fortnite, for example. So are your habits helping you or hurting you? Now, successful people seemingly have it all, don't they? And often people will look at them with some sort of, well, it's okay for them. They've got money. They've got all this. They don't have what I have. But one of the things I know is that we all have habits, and we all have the same time every day. We all have habits. And the only reason why people are more successful than others is because of the habits that they've created that allow that to happen. Now, most of us have habits, but most of us have habits that don't help us. They hinder us. They hold us back. They negatively impact us. We also have some good habits, habits that help us in areas of our life. And once again, I want you to go back to those 6 key areas: career or business, relationship, family and friends, financial, health, and spirituality. What habits help in those areas in your life, and what habits are hurting you? Okay, so what habits are helping in those key areas and what habits are hurting? Maybe from a financial sense, you enjoy shopping because it makes you feel better about yourself. Well, that's maybe a habit that's hurting you financially. So it's about, once again, it's about honest assessment, and that's the best assessment. And, and share if you want to, but this is all about creating a resolve for ourselves and to really look at ourselves objectively and say, are our habits, are my habits, are your habits helping you create the life that you want? Step number 5, this is where we put it all together. So this is the last step. So we put it all together, and this is about priorities. We have wins, we have losses. We have a life that's maybe in tune and maybe out of tune. We've got a list of at least 10 things that we want to be doing. We've got an honest assessment of what our habits are bringing to us. And maybe by doing this, you've already had some aha moments. Maybe. Now, I would try and reconcile what it is that you're working through. And starting maybe with the wants that you have for next year. Do you have something for every string, those 6 strings in your life? So is there something on that list of 10 that covers each of those areas? So, and then have a look at it. And if it's an area that you're satisfied with and at the moment, and maybe you've had some wins with, maybe that's an area that you need to keep working on to get sustainability happening, to get that consistency happening, to getting that that momentum starting to build. Because the more that we can put into habit, the better off we're going to be. If it's an area that you're unhappy with, clearly there may be benefit by working on something, by doing something, by adding that to the list. One of the first things also is just to make sure your 6 key areas are in. You've got your 6 key areas within those 10 things that you want to do. Look at your habits. Check your habits. Are they helping or hindering you in the areas where you need them most? Did you have wins in areas that created losses in others? Remember, this is about balance. This is about a life in alignment. This is about trying to be the best you. And this is why we prioritize. And this is why this gives us a really strong base to prioritize plans for the coming year. So what we've done is created a platform of awareness that supports a goal-setting process. Now, we haven't talked about goals yet. We haven't talked about what is going to be your number one goal, because this is all the steps you should be doing prior to even doing this. We've laid the platform. And I hope that you take this and start the process of building the great year ahead. And if you are looking for more, check out my Conquer the Year program at conquertheyear.com, or check out what the Coach Curl Academy can bring to you, because you deserve great success. And But great success is really only reserved for action takers. If you're sitting on the fence, if you're procrastinating, if you can't make a decision, or you struggle to invest in yourself, you will probably struggle to create the life that you should have, create the life that you deserve, create the life that your potential can bring. You know, I hope 2018 has been a great year for you. Now, I know that I've enjoyed the feedback from you and the commentary around what our podcast has meant to a lot of you out there. Thank you very much for your feedback. We really do appreciate it. We really do get a lot of satisfaction, a lot of personal satisfaction out of putting this podcast together and helping you set some direction, get clarity around some of the things. Our next show is our 100th podcast, and to me that's a bit of a milestone. When I started this thing back in 2013 or 14 or whatever it was, you know, I never ever thought it would be something that I would do consistently. And when I brought it back and showed 25 a year or two ago, it's really become something something strong around the Coach Cole brand. And it wouldn't be strong if it wasn't for you. So I thank you, and I'm full of gratitude for everyone that tunes in, everyone that listens. But what I'll be doing on our 100th show is I'll be taking a trip down memory lane, and I'll be sharing value out of some of our most popular and our most listened to shows. So that's something to look forward to. That's our next episode 100 of the Coach Cole podcast. And as always, I want to thank the team at Think and Grow Business. At Think and Grow Business, we strengthen people in business, strengthening leadership, mindset, and business. Our range of programs support team and leadership development. Check it out at thinkandgrowbusiness.com. The Coach Curl Academy is now online. It's open for business. We've got 60 programs available now to help you develop and grow. We've got a growing community within that academy. So check it out at thecoachcurlacademy.com. Don't forget, Seriously Simple Stuff is available where all good and I suppose all bad books are sold online. Or you can get it direct from my author's page at tonycurl.com.au. Don't forget, 20% of every book supports Carter's cause, raising funds and awareness for Heart Kids Australia. Now, don't forget, next episode, it's our centenary. It's our century of shows. It's our centenary. And I'll be sharing the value from some of the most listened to shows over time in that particular show. You won't want to miss that. Until then, of course, never forget the golden rule. Don't be an arsehole. Until next time, simply be stronger, braver, and wiser. I'll see you soon.